welcome back with me, Jara Diaries, and thank you so much for spending time with me today with story about living with coolie anemia, some of self-development, and also about the gene therapy updates. So today I will bring you to reflect something that related with my title, which is macam mana kalau hidup kau bergantung kepada darah orang lain setiap bulan. That is my reality. Itulah reality kehidupan saya, which is a lot of blood transfusions, a lot of hospital visit, the needles that I need to put inside my vein every month or every 2 weeks to get life, to get breath. My story is not about the illness only, but it's about the faith, the endurance, the resiliency, the hope. It is what I'm becoming. And I hope all of you also to have the same strength, the same spirit to keep going whatever your life challenge is. So let's go into it. So back with our title today, which is living with coolie anemia. How it feel? Macam mana rasa hidup sebagai coolie anemia, yaitu beta thalassemia major. It is that related with blood, and it is seumur hidup, kecuali ada tiba-tiba miracles tiba-tiba, and also ada alternatif rawatan baru untuk this kind of conditions. It is categorized as a rare conditions in hematology's world. I was diagnosed as a coolie anemia beta thalassemia major pada umur setahun 8 bulan, which is I don't really remember what happening during that time. Pada umur 2 tahun saya mula dapatkan rawatan transfusi darah sebab bone marrow saya tidak dapat menghasilkan darah yang cukup untuk keseluruhan badan saya yang dapat support my organs, my anything that related with my body function begitu. So pada umur 2 tahun itu pun saya tidak ingat apa yang berlaku. Tapi apa yang saya rasa, apa yang saya ingat pada waktu itu adalah sakit, itu saja. That's the feeling that I remember, which is pain. Ada jarum and also sakit. During my childhood, I don't ask my parents apa yang sudah berlaku sama diri saya, kenapa saya perlu pergi hospital, kenapa saya perlu kena jarum gitu. Yang saya kena faham adalah saya perlu tambah darah saja gitu. And this story I will share you in another video that related with how I grow with coolie anemia begitu. So itu saja saya ingat, the pain of the needles, the every month blood transfusions. That's mean pada umur 2 tahun tu saya mula transfusi darah dan saya tidak pernah rasa macam mana rasa normal tu. Saya tidak pernah rasa macam mana, seingat saya tidak pernah rasa macam mana feeling of blood transfusions independent. Saya tidak pernah rasa itu. Seingat saya hanya rasa sakit itu saja. Dan kebergantungan pada transfusi darah itu saja yang my whole life I understand. Living in a survival mode lah begitu. Saya perlu mendapatkan rawatan transfusi darah itu setiap 2 minggu sekali sebulan begitu. It depends your blood availability. And darah saya adalah saya boleh anggap hospital itu adalah rumah kedua saya. Selain rumah asal saya, hospital adalah rumah kedua saya, which is I visit it every month, every 2 weeks begitu. It is my whole life begitu. So not only the hospital but also the blood transfusions and also the medications, it is our life. Ia adalah nyawa kami. Without blood transfusions, ia adalah pernafasan hidup kami. Without medications, jangka hayat kami pun sangat singkat. And this kind of mentality, the blood transfusions and also the medications, itu yang membawa saya kepada mengambil keputusan gene therapy. Dan tapi cerita itu akan saya kongsikan pada next video juga. A lot of story I can share with you. Blood transfusions every month and also like medications, it's tiring. But it is a life that we need to live. Itulah kehidupan yang kami perlu hidupi. And it's out of our control. During my time, dia bukan pilihan ibu bapak saya. Dan ibu bapak saya sendiri pun tidak tahu mereka mengalami conditions as pembawa thalassemia. Sepertinya because of the decisions of the parents, the child need to carry that life begitu. anak itu yang terpaksa menghadapi kehidupan. This is the situations of the victim lah kan gitu. I can say it that way because it is out of our control. Itu di luar kawalan kami. The only person that can stop this, can avoid this adalah our parents, ibu bapak kita. Like, they understand they are thalassemia, they need to prevent it. Susah mau cakap pasalnya tau, sebab dia it's something that banyak aspek yang kau perlu fikir. Tapi one aspect you need to think is your child. Gitu. Di pihak saya sebagai pejuang thalassemia itu sendiri, I know this is something that very deep, sangat mendalam. Itulah realitinya. And beratnya saya mengatakan ini, it is the same heaviness we carry these conditions. Lagi berat actually. Saya sebagai pejuang thalassemia dewasa, I've been through the phase like childhood, teenagers, early adult, and also now it's adult. It's tiring. It's suffering. Kalau kami tidak ingat Tuhan, kalau kami tidak ingat anugerah Tuhan akan kehidupan, maybe we take our own life gitu. And I know this is something deep. It's our life. And I'm so sorry because I need to say this. I come to the next topic about the living with colic anemia, which is childhood and teenagers year and adult life. A lot of things that happen during my teenagers, my childhood, I don't understand what happened. Saya tidak paham apa yang berlaku sama diri saya. Yang saya paham, I'm different with others. Saya berbeza daripada orang lain begitu. Saya pergi hospital, tapi I don't understand why I need to go hospital. I don't understand why I need to have iron chelation. I don't understand why I need have blood transfusions. I don't understand all of that things. The only things that I understand, I go to hospital and I feel tired. And the needles, the iron chelations, like Desferals, that we need to put needles every day on our skin. It is very scary for me during my childhood. Jarum. Dia adalah satu benda yang saya sangat-sangat takut waktu masa kecil saya. No one, tiada siapa yang mau jarum gitu. Tiada siapa yang mau jarum melekat di perut dia ataupun di kulit dia setiap malam. But that's the thing that we need to go through to have good health. And saya tidak pernah suka makan ubat since little kids until even during my adult stage. Saya tidak pernah suka makan obat. Tuhan, saya tidak mau makan obat gitu. I don't like this. Saya sangat tidak suka. Tetapi that's the thing our body needs because of these conditions. Itu perkara ataupun perubatan yang kami perlukan untuk mendapatkan kesehatan yang baik. Dan pada waktu teenager is my moment yang sangat memberontak, di mana saya persoalkan segala sesuatu sama Tuhan. Kenapa saya yang ada nih sakit, kenapa bukan cousin saya? That's the thing I always ask to myself. And during my childhood, I ask my parents, kenapa saya tidak boleh ikut ini, kenapa saya tidak boleh ikut ini. And everything that I want to follow, karena larang ini itu. And I feel, kenapa saya sangat pada waktu itu sampailah teenager saya, sebab yang saya mau buat tapi saya tidak boleh buat gitu. Dan it is okay, sebab oh yalah, we respect our parents kan gitu. So I just, apa yang saya betul-betul suka memang saya ikuti begitu. Saya tidak peduli sudah gitu. And during my teenagers time, this milestone yang sangat memberontak, which is I don't care apa yang parents saya larang, kalau saya mau ikut. Dan syukur Tuhan juga lah, sebab dengan kekerasan kepala tuh survive juga begitu. Ya macam okay juga lah, tidak ada pengsan ini itu. Because I feel, saya rasa tidak ada freedom tuh, semua kena larang. Most of the activities I want to follow kena larang, like I want to follow the taekwondo, wow, siap padu apa begitu, tapi kena larang. I want to follow a lot of things yang sukaan punya activity, tapi kan larang. Tapi the only activity yang saya gas adalah perbarisan. Like saya boleh bani begitu, I can do it gitu. And syukur juga lah 5 tahun saya ikut perbarisan atau dan senam aerobik di sekolah saya tidak pernah pingsan lah. Ada yang almost mau pingsan tapi oke juga, kuat juga begitu. And during this time, teenagers time lah yang paling yang mencabar bagi saya, macam I want to stop my studies, saya tidak mau belajar, almost like I want to give up everything. And kenapa saya perlu hadapi situasi begitu? Kenapa bukan orang lain? Dan kalau mungkin kalau saya ada nih sakit, mungkin rupa saya bukan begini, tidak hitam macam begini begitu. And all of that thoughts that make me feel very insecure with myself during the teenager life gitu. And there's a moment that I really want to give up on myself, especially during my 18 years old. I'm very tired with all the medications. I'm very tired with all the hospital visit, the blood transfusions. Lord, I said, saya tidak mau semua ini. I don't want all of this. I want you to take my life. I want you to take my life. I don't want all of this. I'm tired. Saya penat, betul-betul penat. And during that time, Tuhan jumpakan saya dengan satu individu yang change my life. Like I'm giving all things to God begitu. And I want to thank you for that person that since that time I beg to God and God changed my life begitu. God take the brokenness into a beautiful things. Macam tu yang macam Jepun punya pepatah tu yang broken terus kena sambung guna emas begitu, and it's become beautiful masterpiece. That's the thing that's happened to me. It's all about the spiritual awakening. Setiap fase dalam hidup ada perkara yang ada pembaharuan yang berlaku di mana kita rasa give up and God reveal things. When we give up, God reveal things begitu. So during my 18 years old, I said to Lord, actually saya ada satu cita-cita which is I want to be a geology. Tapi my education's background during the Form 6 begitu tidak mengizinkan sebab saya tidak minat science, and actually to be a geologist you need to have good result in science or you have pure science begitu. Tapi saya tidak ada itu. So during that time I let go of that dream and I surrender to God what I want to be begitu. Walaupun pada waktu itu saya tidak tahu apa yang saya mau jadi, tapi I ask my deepest heart gitu, di lubuk hati saya. I said to God, God, you know my heart, you know what I need, you know what I can do, even with these conditions, lead me to the way you want me to go. Dan di sana terdetik suara hati saya to choose psychology. Apapun cabaran, I finish the psychology educations without fail. Saya tidak pernah mengulang dalam education saya, macam manapun cabaran itu. Tapi of course, God will find me to be bagi saya sederhana sajalah, yang tidak terlalu pandai juga, tidak terlalu bawa juga begitu. Just nice begitu. So God refine me to be someone who can talk. Even dulu pun saya mana pandai cakap begini juga. As I surrender to God, God use me to be your instrument. Let your will begitu. Biarlah kehendak-Mu yang jadi dalam hidup saya. And slowly Tuhan bentuk saya melalui background, latar belakang pendidikan saya sendiri, and also jenis kerja saya. Tuhan bentuk saya dalam segala sesuatu. I've asked God. Saya pernah tanya pada Tuhan, Tuhan, macam mana rasa menjadi normal? Macam mana rasa saya tidak bergantung pada blood transfusions? Macam mana rasa saya tidak lagi mau makan obat? Sebab saya kan tidak suka makan obat. Tapi it's just a thought. It's a thought that I keep inside my heart gitu, as a dream. Saya bermimpi untuk jadi normal begitu. Saya bermimpi untuk jadi tidak lagi bergantung pada transfusi darah. And I just write it in my journal gitu. Suddenly I got the gene therapy opportunities. I don't know how it long will be, tapi for this moment, I know how it feels to be free from blood transfusions. I know how it feels to be free from medications, at least the iron chelations medications that tie me 29 years begitu. And I know the feeling that I can do what I want to do, and I'm grateful to God for it. This is the healing moment bagi saya. Macam manapun I'm healed, macam manapun Tuhan menganugerahkan kesembuhan kepada saya melalui rawatan gene terapi, the journey of living with colic anemia, it's a part of me. It's half of myself begitu. Dia adalah sebahagian dalam diri saya yang saya tidak akan pernah lupa. It might be someone who get this cure begitu. Saya bukan thalassemia lagi, and I don't want to talk about it because the life as colic anemia don't want to be related with colic anemia anymore gitu. Tapi it's different with me. It is something that mold me. It is something that God used to taught me without people, tanpa orang beritahu saya. It is living with colic anemia. It is a life that mature me in advance. Walaupun dia painful, walaupun dia sangat memberi banyak pengajaran dalam hidup, especially about appreciating life, I'm still grateful for this journey. Tapi kalau dapat dielakkan to have this kind of illness, I will say this one thing. Ibu dan bapak tahu kamu adalah pembawa thalassemia, please think about me begitu. Tolong pikir pasal saya. Kalau you make decisions to have me and let me living in this life, please take care of me. Give the very best for me. Help me to go through this life. Help me to cope this life. That's the thing I want to tell my parents. If they are making decisions to have child, even they know they are thalassemia carrier, and I'm sorry for this truth, but this is what we face. Even now, walaupun sekarang saya tidak lagi bergantung pada transfusi darah, tapi I feel it for my friends that need blood. And that's it. Actually, ada sudah topik saya mau cakap nih. Ada sudah tapi itulah gerakan naluri hati and inspired by Holy Spirit. What I need to talk, I will talk. I'm saying this bukan untuk salahkan siapa, tapi it is one of the awareness that I need you all to know that please consider things. Mungkin bukan semua dapat terima apa yang saya cakap ini, tapi this is the reality. Saya anggap case thalassemia adalah 2000 lah. Als di ada 1998 lah, sebab satu kawan saya pun sudah blood transfusions independent. Ask them how they feel about their life. To my dear friends, I'm your voice, and if you have your own voice, please share it. I know kita sudah dibentuk to stay positive in everything, because that's how we survive. But to be vulnerable about what you feel is matter too, gitu. Even sekarang saya free from blood transfusions, I still feel the pain inside as living with colic anemia. And I'm Jera, and I'm here for you. Please share with me, and I will help you to go through it through my Jera diaries. Because I have my own life now. Even I'm living with colic anemia, I achieve my dream life. I achieve what I want, even living with colic anemia, not after gene therapy. So I know the struggle, I know the pain, I know the emotional heaviness, I know the emotional turbulence, all of that things to achieve what you want to do. And I know we all have different background, and I wish the best for you. We pray to God, karena Tuhan itu adil, tau. Tuhan sangat adil in everything. And don't give up hope in God. Pada waktu kau serahkan diri kau dalam brokenness of you to be vulnerable to God, that's the time God never left you. Tuhan tidak pernah tinggalkan kau dalam apa jua kesengsaraan yang kau alami. So, itu saja mengenai Jara Daris hari ini living with cool anemia, with all my vulnerable things. I will share a lot of things about the medications, about all of that stuff that related with my another video, but for now, that's how it feels to living with cool anemia. So, please share this to inspire others, to give hope to others, no matter what your situation is. God hear our prayer in any conditions. God is real. Begitu. Apapun agama kamu, saya tidak spesifikkan pada agama saya sejak kecil. Saya tidak spesifikkan pada agama saya. If you inspired by my video, please share it to your friends, your family, with anyone you know who need to hear this. And please like, subscribe, and also comments below about things maybe you face the same conditions and how you cope it. And thank you so much for staying until this moment, and lot of love for you.